my channel. So I've cried about 5 times this week. Okay, so today's video is going to be about how to de-stress during and after work, and what the Sunday Scaries feels like, and how to prepare and get ready so that you don't have that gut feeling that, you know, I hate Monday, I can't deal with this. You almost cannot stand Sundays because you know that you have work on Monday, and I deal with that. And the reason I wanted to film this video was because this week I've just had the most stressful week. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate, because I feel like a lot of the times when I have a stressful week, my friends have had a stressful week, and I think the universe is just upset. So I know a lot of you guys can probably relate, but this week has just been so stressful for me. Like I said, I've cried at least 4 times, and just because I felt overworked, overbooked, stressed out, exhausted, and there was really nothing else I could do. I had prepared for it all. I was ready for it all, but just like after everything, I was just like, I cannot do this. So we all have those weeks, and they're okay. It's okay to stress out. It's okay to cry about it. But what are we doing to make sure that when it happens again, you know, maybe we're not crying about it, but we have a plan in place so that we're not as stressed out as we were the last time. And that's really the goal, is just to not stress out as much as you did before, and make sure that you're okay internally and mentally, and that's what I strive for. So I thought I'd give you guys some tips. Let's get started. Okay, so the first tip that I have to de-stress at work would be to take a walk. Just get up from your desk, take maybe 10, I don't know what your breaks look like, but maybe take 5 to 15 minutes to just take a walk. It does not have to be around the workplace. So when I used to take a walk, I would take a walk around my actual workspace, and that never really helped me because I was still in the environment that was stressing me out. So what I've recently started to do is get up, go downstairs, outside of my building, and take a walk around the entire building and come back up. Now that helps me because now I'm just completely out of the space that's stressing me out. The work is not staring me right back in my face. My coworkers are not staring me right in my face, and that allows me to just breathe, relax, take a deep breath, and go about my day. I come back to my desk and I'm ready to go. The next tip that I have would be to make a checklist. Now, the reason I say make a checklist is because a lot of times we stress out because we're thinking about too many things at the same time. And I don't know if that's for you guys, but I stress out a lot because I'm thinking about too many things at once. I don't know which one to target first. I don't know what to do. So if you make a list and you get everything out of your mind, you really don't gotta remember it, and you don't gotta think about it because it's all on paper. So you know what you need to do. Maybe do it, list it in order of importance, and maybe tackle the biggest thing first so that you don't have to stress out the rest of the day about it. I always say get the worst thing done first thing in the morning so that when you're ready to leave at 5, 6 o'clock, you're not like, oh, I still have to do it. If you do it right when you get in, you don't have to stress about it for the rest of the day, and you can just go about your day easy sailing, hopefully, right? The next tip I have would be to listen to some music. I love to listen to music because it's not something that I do all the time. I know a lot of people listen to music all the time, but I don't really listen to music often unless a new song comes out. I'll listen to it or play it, but I don't really listen to music that much. So when I do listen to music, it's something that takes a lot. And I don't know, maybe that's music today, but for me, it takes a lot to listen to music. Most of the time, if I'm driving, I am not listening to music. I'm not listening to anything, actually. I know some people think that if you drive in a silent car, you're weird, but that's me. I'm a weird person because I don't know. It's just a lot of noise happening. So when I do listen to music, it does tend to take my mind off of everything because it's just so loud and it's a lot going on. It's a lot of words, and it does take my mind off of it. So do something that can take your mind off of what's happening. So just a little distraction. Sometimes I like to listen to YouTube, watch a funny video. I watch Kennedy Johnson. I don't know if you guys follow her, but I know a lot of people do, so I'll link her below. She is so funny, and sometimes you just need someone funny to listen to or talk to, because they really just brighten up your day, and it helps a lot. Just watching her or watching someone funny just allows me to take the stress off of my day and just laugh at or with someone else, and that's definitely cool. So I'll link her below if you guys haven't seen her, because she's so funny and she's like one of my favorite YouTubers right now, so go follow her, girl. The next tip I have would be to talk to a coworker. Now, depending on how close you are with your coworkers, it may be beneficial to touch base with your coworkers. Maybe get some advice from coworkers who have been there a longer time than you have, and just know the ropes already and know what to do. I have a coworker who's been at my company that I work at for 10 or 11 years now, and she just knows everything. And so I love to touch base with her and just get her opinion and her advice on things, because she knows best. She's like the mom of the entire office, and she knows. She's dealing with this a long time, so she just sits at her desk. Everything just looks so easy for her. All the conversations just flow from her. And so I always like to, if I see something that I admire about someone, I always ask how they got to that point in their career or their life, and see if there's anything that I can do that they have done and implement that in my own life and see how it works for me. And that's not everyone, but if you do have a close coworker, maybe vent with them, vent to them, and let them know, hey, this is stressing me out, or I have this, or I have that. And I always like to talk to someone that I can relate to, or that can relate to me. The worst thing is someone that can't relate. So I don't like to talk to people about my stress that don't understand my stress. So if you can't relate, I'm sorry, no, girl, no. So I always like to talk to people who have been through the struggle, know the struggle, understand my hustle and what I'm trying to accomplish, and can just be real with me and let me know when I'm just freaking out for no reason, and when this is just the work, okay, it's out of control, What I would say for after work, I would definitely say the commute out of work is so important. So one thing that was brought to my attention is that when I get off of work, I am like not the nicest person. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it speaks to how I feel right after work. So I make sure I do things after work that help me to calm down, help me to leave my work at work and go from there. And I'm still learning. So if you catch me after work and I'm not the nicest person, listen, girl, I tried. I did try. So one of the things that I do when I'm commuting from work is just to take some time and just be quiet, to be silent. I work at a job that I am on the phone constantly. I'm communicating constantly, and someone always wants something from me all the time. All the time. It does not fail. People want something from me, and that is my job. But when I am outside of work, what I realize is I don't like to talk immediately. I don't like to stress out. And now generally my boyfriend does pick me up from work. I only work in the office 2 days a week, so keep that in mind. I work from home 3 days a week. But when I do go into the office and I'm coming home, it's always best that I take the long way down and de-stress. And I take the steps most of the time, unless I have something really heavy, and it's just silence. I just need the silence. I need to breathe. I need to understand that, what do I want from myself now? If anything, when I get home, what do I need to do, and go from there. And I would say, don't even think about what you need to do. Just don't think about anything, or think about everything and just realize, don't stress about it. Just breathe. Take a second to think about your needs and your wants for the day and go from there. But take that moment, even if it's just 5 minutes, just coming down the steps, to just breathe, relax, and understand that you're off. You know, sometimes we have a tendency to bring our work home or bring our home to work, and I'm really working on leaving them both where they belong. Leave my personal life at home. As soon as I step foot at my place of work, I'm in work mode, and what happened in my personal life doesn't affect me. And that's easier said than done, but it's definitely something that I'm trying to implement and working harder, because it is something that I struggle with. One of the best ways that I am still working on to de-stress after work is to exercise. Yes, I said exercise. I know, but I did say it. You have to exercise, and I'm working on that as well. It's something I struggle with, which is why I'm doing this video, because I was trying to think of all the things that I could have done last week to help me this week, and I'm like, girl, I gotta stop doing this. And exercising just came up a million times. Everything I Googled, people I talked with, they said that they exercise right after work. They have to. My friend, she goes boxing, and she boxes after work, and that sounds like a stress relief for me. If I could just hit something constantly, that sounds like something that's gonna help me de-stress and relax and just go from there. So I do want to start implementing late workouts after work into my routine, into my after work routine, and see how I feel from there. But I know that I always feel good after I work out, so I definitely know that it's something that would help me. But just dragging my lazy behind to get up and go to the gym, even though I work from home 3 times a week, keep that in mind. Yeah, your girl's lazy. So just something to keep in mind, even if it's a light exercise, even if it's yoga, something to do, just get yourself active, running, maybe take a walk around a park or walk around your complex or your house or your neighborhood or wherever it is that's closest to you. Just take a walk. Even a walk would just help to relax and, you know, just unwind for the day. Now, I wanted to talk to you guys about something so important to me, and that's the Sunday Scaries. And I'm familiar with that because I get them, and I thought I was the only person that would stress out about work. When I tell you stress out, I mean stress out. Stress out about work on Monday. Like, I would just think about it and be like, wow, my whole Sunday's ruined. And so many people deal with that. So many people deal with being stressed out on Sunday, and I think it's so important that we talk about it and we get it out there so people know that it's normal and something that a lot of people deal with, and it's something that can actually fuel you to be better on Monday if you turn it around. And I'm working on that as well. And one of the biggest things I feel on Sundays is like, it's already Monday, and I don't have another day to wake up and not stress out and not be worried about someone else's problems. And that is what stresses me out. And then I ruin my whole Sunday. Before I know it, my Sundays are gone. So here are some tips that I have for the Sunday Scaries. Not everyone gets them, but I do have some tips for you guys who do get the Sunday Scaries, and how to kind of turn it around, turn the negative into a positive. So the first thing that I would start out by doing is waking up, not looking at your phone, just waking up, and if there's some sun out, just walk. I try to find the sun. That's the first thing I do on Sunday, is try to find the sun. And I think it's so important. I have a balcony, and it's so nice, so I can just get up, go to my balcony, get some sun, sit down, get some sun, get some vitamin D, and just breathe. Take it in, take the morning in, enjoy the morning, have some coffee. I like to brew myself some tea or some coffee, have some, and just relax, you know? Don't start your day off with other people's opinions. Keep the phone down. That would lead me into my next tip, is to minimize your screen activity. Minimize the time that you are on social media, minimize the time that you are on watching TV, just minimize screen time in general. And not to say I love watching my favorite show on Sunday, so I'm gonna watch it, but I try to make sure that I put the phone down. It's hard for me to do that throughout the week, but I feel like Sundays I deserve it. It's me time, and I try to relax as much as possible, which is why I clean on Saturdays instead of Sundays. I like to do my hair. If you're a hair girl, you know that Sunday hair care is really what it's all about. I like to give myself a deep moisturizer, a deep conditioner in my hair. I'll do a face mask. I'll listen to a podcast. There's so many podcasts out there, but there are two that I watch, that I listen to. I'm sorry. One is called the Sunday Scaries. I think it's actually literally just called the Sunday Scaries. And I can't remember the name of the next one. What's that? And the other one is called the Sunday Blues. So those are two that I listen to every day. I have a few podcasts that I listen to. If you guys are into podcasts, I can link them below. I'm not really good listening to them in the car or anything like that. But if I want to just listen to something, I'll listen to them, and these are really helpful ones. They talk to different people about their Sunday scaries and what it looks like and how to be a good adult. There's another one that I watch, and it's called Balancing Your Hustles. That's one of my favorite ones. She's so cool, and she really does talk to and speak to women who are in the workforce and, you know, trying to just be the biggest boss of their own lives and how to deal with that stress on Sunday. She's super helpful. So I'll link all three of those below. If you guys have any, please leave me a comment or send me a DM or reach me and let me know what you guys use, because I'm always down for tips for helping me on Sunday, because with all those tips I still do stress out sometimes. And the biggest thing I think is it's okay to think about those thoughts, but don't harp on them. So if you harp on the thoughts, then that's when there are issues. So let the thoughts go in and out, just like meditation. Think about the thoughts and go from there. Your mind is never going to be blank. That's just weird, honestly. So what? You know when you get something on your phone where you're just like, interesting. Anywho, like I was saying, just not to harp on those thoughts and to just breathe, you know? It's so important to just to be with yourself and acknowledge those thoughts. And I think that's what we don't do. We don't acknowledge our thoughts. And so they just keep, you know, stressing us out in our head because we're not acknowledging them. We're trying to figure out what we're thinking about first, what we're going to do about the first one and the second one. But if you write them down and get them all out and acknowledge them and figure out how you're going to figure out each one, then I think you'll be good to go. And if all else fails, honey, it may be time for a new job. And there are many people who have realized and acknowledged that this job is just too stressful and it's not for me. It's not that you can't handle it. It's just not for you. And it's not the life that you want to live. I don't ever want to live a life where I'm like dreading my job. At that point, it's time for a new job. And I know that we're not all fortunate enough to just go out and get a new job. But if you have the opportunity to get a new job or find something that just doesn't stress you out like that, why not? We only have this one life. And I think that it's important that we do what we love in this lifetime. So sometimes it just may be time for a new job, guys, and that's okay. And as long as you acknowledge that and you're working towards that goal, there's nothing else you can do. Acknowledge what is in your circle of control and move on. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for watching. This was something that was on my heart this morning that I wanted to share, and I wanted to share it just because I wanted to get some feedback from you guys and see what you guys do. because I know everyone does different things, and that's what's so great. And I'm looking forward to you guys giving me some tips as well. So leave them in the comments below if you do anything different from what I'm saying, or if you do some of the same things, just let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.